This video we are going to look at the order of operations, and it is part 3 of the module called Working with Numbers. So before we do that, let's just make sure that we understand what is an expression, what is an equation, and what is a term. Well, expressions contain one or more operating symbols. So if we look there, the expression 5 times 2 plus 8 divided by 4 has 4 numbers and 3 operating symbols. And the thing about expressions is that they can be simplified. Now, equations are expressions with an equal sign in them. So if we take that same expression that we had above, which is 5 times 2 plus 8 divided by 4, and we now say equals x, then it is an equation that requires an answer for x. And so where expressions can be simplified, equations must be solved to find an answer. Terms are the things that we have in expressions and equations that are separated by plus or minus sign. So look at this first expression again. The expression is 5 times 2 plus 8 divided by 4. It has 2 terms. Why? Because there is only one plus or minus sign in this expression. In fact, there is only one plus sign. And so if we take whatever is on the left of that plus sign, and we take whatever is on the right of that plus sign, then we see that this expression has 2 terms, being 5 times 2 and 8 divided by 4. And to solve an equation, we must first simplify the individual terms. So consider the following expression. You have 144 divided by 36 plus 10 multiplied by 12 minus 6 multiplied by 19. So let's simplify this expression. Step 1, we separate the terms by putting brackets around them. So what do? We go and we look for plus and minus signs. There's a plus sign there. There's a minus sign there. So what is on the left of the plus sign? It is 144 divided by 36. What is to the right of the plus sign? It is 10 times 12, and then we have another minus sign there, and on the right of that minus sign we have 6 times 19. Now in step 2 we simplify the individual terms. 144 divided by 36 is 4. 10 multiplied by 12 is 120, and 6 times 19 is 114, and we keep the plus and minus operating symbols in their place. And then we simply solve from left to right. 4 plus 120 is 124, minus 114 is 10. And that is how we simplify an expression. Now, if you look at the order of operations, the order of procedures in a mathematical expression is the following. We do parentheses, braces, and brackets first, because those are just other ways to indicate that we are working with individual terms. Then we do exponents and roots second. We do multiplication and division third, and we do addition and subtraction last. But those last 2 is exactly what we have been doing when we separated the terms. Use and solve brackets from the inside out. So we normally use the rounded brackets, normal round brackets on the inside, the curved brackets further to the outside, and the block brackets even further to the outside. And this course you will never go further than this. And then we have the thing that we call the principle of equal precedence. It says that multiplication and division can be done in any order from left to right. So you don't have to go and look and ask yourself, do I first do multiplication or do I first do division? No, they have equal precedence. So if you only have multiplication and division signs, you simply solve from left to right. And then subtraction and addition is also equal in their precedence, and so therefore subtraction and addition can also be done in any order from left to right. Now, there are ways that you have learned to remember the order of operations. Please always remember that these are handy ways of remembering. It is not the rule. Okay, the rule is what I showed you in the beginning, where we identify and separate the terms and then solve from left to right. Okay, but in any case, we've used bottomless before. So bottomless means brackets of the O, but it really means exponents, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. But as you can see here, these last four, the rule of equal prevalence. And then with PEMDAS, we have parenthesis, which is just another word for brackets, of course, exponents, also roots, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And you see, sometimes people will get confused because they say, I have done the bottomless, and it says do division and then multiplication. Other people will say that they did PEMDAS, and that says multiplication and that then division. Remember, it doesn't matter. They are equal, multiplication and division, and you simply solve those from left to right. So what about dividing lines? Well, the rule is simplify above and under the line. Consider the expression. Before I even look at the expression, let me say the following. The line is really something that is a division sign. So really, if you had 6 plus 3 multiplied by 6 divided by 2 in brackets and then a division sign, 7 plus 6 multiplied by 3 minus 20, it would be exactly the same thing. So let's have a look at how we will deal with the dividing line. Firstly, we consider the expression. That's the expression, it is given. Then we go and we separate the terms again. How do we do that again? We go and we look for plus and minus signs. Okay, so there's one plus sign in the expression on top of the line. So there's really two terms, the one being 6 and the other one being 3 times 6 divided by 2. Below the line, we have 6 plus one sign there, 6 times 3 minus the second one there. So we are saying we have 1, 2, 3 terms now. The first one just being 7, the second one being 6 times 3, and the third one being 20, because we are looking for plus and minus operation symbols to separate the terms. Then we now solve whatever is in the brackets. We solve those individual terms. And if we say 6 times 3, or 3 times 6, we are going to have 18. And 18 divided by 2 is 9. We simply solved it from left to right. 6 times 3 is just 18. There's nothing special there. So we then have a term on top of the line and a term at the bottom, or really an expression on top of the line, and an expression at the bottom of the line. The expression on top of the line is 6 plus 9. We can simply solve that from left to right and get 15. The expression under the line is 7 plus 18, which would be 25, minus 20. Once again, we're just going from left to right, equals 5. And then we now have 15 on top of the line, 5 below the line, and then we simply divide, and we say 15 divided by 5 equals 3.